It's been 1 year since 5 innocent people were killed and 49 injured by Islamist terrorist Khalid Masood on Westminster Bridge. On March 22nd, Masood drove a car along the pavement on the south side of Westminster Bridge, hitting people as he drove, until he crashed into the railings outside New Palace Yard. He left the vehicle and he killed PC Keith Palmer. And a year on, we would have thought that our politicians had learned their lesson. But have they? Well, let's see what's happened in just 1 year following that tragic day. March 25th, Sammy Woodhouse, victim of the Rotherham rape scandal, slammed authorities for failing to act on a violent child rapist for fear of being perceived as racist. April 9th, Andrew Gilligan reports that Westminster terrorist Khalid Masood held a key position in a Luton mosque, which he said urged Muslims to take weapons to gain victory over the Jews and the rest of the enemies of Islam. April 12th, 29 people appear in court as part of an inquiry into child sexual exploitation and grooming, with defendants coming from Bradford, Dewsbury, Dudley, Manchester, Sheffield and Huddersfield. April 15th, reports said that a primary school took children on a school trip to meet an extremist Islamic preacher who had previously promoted and encouraged religious violence. April 27th, a man carrying knives near the Houses of Parliament was wrestled to the ground by police officers and then arrested on suspicion of terrorism offences. The man was arrested just metres away from where Khalid Masood murdered multiple people on Westminster Bridge. April 28th, another suspected terror plot was foiled in London when police officers raided a house in Willesden. 6 people, including a 16-year-old, were arrested and properties were searched. The house had been under investigation by counterintelligence officers. May 1st, 3 women were arrested in East London on suspicion of terror offences in connection with the Willesden raid. May 16th, reports say that Rochdale grooming gang ringleader Shabir Ahmed tortured a victim by raping her every week for 10 years and beating her up with a cricket bat. May 17th, Metropolitan Police arrest 4 men in East London who were suspected of plotting a terror attack in the UK. May 22nd, the Manchester Arena was hit by an Islamist terror attack by Salman Abedi with a homemade bomb that detonated and threw shrapnel into the air. 22 innocent people were killed and 500 others were injured. May 24th, 3 more people are arrested in connection to the Manchester Arena bombing, including the brother of Salman Abedi. UK terror threat raised to critical. June 2nd, police investigate 180 new cases of child rape and grooming in the mill town of Keighley, with 165 suspects and over 100 victims. June 3rd, a van hit pedestrians on London Bridge. The van crashed and 3 Islamic terrorists left the vehicle and started stabbing people near pubs and restaurants. 8 were killed and 48 injured. June 5th, 12 arrested in Barking following the London Bridge van and knife attack. June 8th, 3 men are arrested over a possible terror plot in Newham and Waltham Forest. June 12th, police arrest a 19-year-old in counter-terror raid. June 15th, Home Office stats show terror arrests reach a record high in the UK, increasing to 304 in the 12 months up to March. June 29th, a 21-year-old woman was arrested at Heathrow Airport, suspected of engaging in Syria-related terror offences. July 1st, police arrest 2 men from Leicester and Birmingham in Heathrow on suspicion of preparing for terrorist acts. July 7th, police make a new arrest related to the Manchester bombing. July 10th, counter-terror police release a haunting film that tells holidaymakers how to run, hide and tell in the event of a terror attack. July 18th, reports say that the amount of children seeking mental health support increases significantly following terror attacks. July 26th, 17-year-old girl alleged to have married an ISIS fighter in Syria is accused in court of plotting a terror attack in the UK. August 9th, 18 people are found guilty of running a Newcastle child grooming rape network, with 17 Muslim men and 1 white woman guilty of trafficking vulnerable girls. August 25th, a 26-year-old Uber driver holding a samurai sword and shouting Allah Akbar is injured officers outside Buckingham Palace. August 27th, a second arrest related to the Buckingham Palace attack takes place. August 28th, a young Christian child was taken from her family and forced to live with a niqab-wearing woman and Muslim foster family, where she was encouraged to learn their language and restricted from eating certain foods. September 1st, MI5 admits that Britain has 35,000 Muslim radicals identified in the UK, with 3,000 posing a serious threat and 500 under watch. September 16th, Britain's terror threat level raised again from severe to critical following the Parsons Green Tube bombing. A hunt begins for the bomber who injured 29 people on a train when the bomb partially detonated, sending a fireball through the carriage. September 18th, 21-year-old Yanya Farouk arrested by police over the Parsons Green bombing. September 20th, 2 more people arrested over the tube attack. October 17th, MI5 chief admits that the UK is facing the most severe terror threat in history. October 21st, Labour MPs Stephen Kinnock and Wes Streeting are slammed for agreeing to attend an event organised by MEND, a group accused of hosting Islamic speakers and other radicals. October 31st, Henry Jackson Society releases a report which outlines how police forces and town halls have been working with MEND, a Muslim group that promotes extremism and has previously legitimised the murder of British troops. November 3rd, 4 men from a grooming gang who targeted young girls are jailed for 33 years for 22 offences between 2007 and 2014. November 21st, Rotherham grooming gang leader Arshid Hussain is found guilty of more child abuse. November 23rd, British security services prepare a new crackdown on terrorism following ISIS attacks. November 27th, a 17-year-old A-level student, a white British convert to Islam, is found guilty of plotting a terror attack in Cardiff. November 29th, counter-terror police announced significant arrests and the foiling of a terror plot to attack the UK. December 10th, police expose a new grooming gang in London with 4 girls between the ages of 13 and 15 having been raped by a group based at Stratford McDonald's. December 10th, British-Pakistani researchers announced that 84% of grooming gang members are Asian, but we know what Asian really means. December 19th, counter-terrorism sources say action was taken to stop an Islamist terror plot over Christmas. January 9th, police launch a new raid targeting a grooming gang who traffic girls across England for sex. January 12th, police arrest 20 men for alleged involvement in a grooming gang in Calderdale, West Yorkshire. January 13th, 27-year-old woman arrested in Heathrow Airport after returning from Ethiopia on suspicion of preparing terrorist acts. January 18th, a man is arrested in Norwich on suspicion of funding terrorism. January 30th, report says that grooming gangs are using violent tactics to get children to carry drugs. February 20th, the Rotherham 1400 becomes the Rotherham 1500. February 22nd, police arrest a man in Stansted Airport who planned to join ISIS in Syria. February 23rd, reports say grooming gangs abused more than 700 women and girls throughout Newcastle and police punished victims. March 8th, Home Office stats show UK terror-related arrests rose by almost 60%, reaching a record high. March 11th, possibly the worst ever child grooming scandal is exposed in Telford. So, do you think the government has learned from the Westminster Bridge attack 1 year on?